Hello and welcome to National Focus for Monday, July 1st, 2024. I am Aaliyah Martin. The headlines: Dominica spared from burial, but vigilance continues. The Wasco prepared for 2024 hurricane season. And marine tourism, a priority for government. The details of the headline stories and more when we return. Welcome back. Dominica has been spared from the ravages of Category 4 Hurricane Beryl, with a tropical storm watch discontinued for the island as of 8 a.m. on Monday. Following close monitoring of the weekend's conditions, officials have determined that no significant damage to the island has been recorded. While Dominica was marked safe from the cyclone, the early development of systems in the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season serves as a reminder for continued preparedness. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, has already predicted that this season will be an above-average season, but Prime Minister Skerritt remains confident that Dominica is well prepared to handle any unforeseen circumstances.
We go through the systems and DOWASCO reports and DOMLEC reports and ensure that we have all the bases covered as far as humanly possible. And this is the approach we take, whether it is a hurricane, whether it's a tropical storm, whether it's a flood warning, and we take it very seriously. So we treat every system the same. This is why sometimes Dominicans say, well, okay, why do you guys have to alarm us or alert us if the hurricane is way down by Grenada? No, because it can do anything unless it goes into the Caribbean Sea. You're not out of the woods yet. And so we monitor on an ongoing basis. And this is what we did with regards to the tropical storm watch. We did not get to the tropical storm warning level because it was not necessary from a scientific standpoint. But insofar as a preparation standpoint, we were ready for hurricanes.
Over the weekend, 2 meetings were held in which Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerritt commended the swift action taken by various sectors in response to the impending weather warning issued for the Hurricane Beryl. The government remains committed to ongoing evaluation and refinement of preparations, making any necessary adjustments or additions to plans as needed.
I must say that from the health team to the police to the shelter people, everybody who reported, I was very pleased with their diligence and their focus, and I got the impression and that is a fact that they were on top of what needed to be done, and so I felt very comforted by that. They were in control of the information, and that's important because people receive information from different departments on the direction of control, but they may not be necessarily in tune with the facts, and I found that they were very in tune with the facts. Yes. And there were some persons who were attending the meetings for the first time in the new capacities, and I was very impressed.
While Dominica has been marked safe from Hurricane Beryl, government and the people of Dominica extend their solidarity and support to their brother and sister islands that may be affected during this time.
We are on standby to provide whatever support to our brothers and sisters who may be impacted. We continue to pray that the strength of the hurricane is reduced and that there will not be any damage done to our sister countries of Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Barbados, because we know too well, and it is fresher in our minds in Dominica, the destructive nature of these hurricanes. And so I continue to be in touch with the leaders of those countries and to let them know that we stand in solidarity with them in prayer, in spirit, and whatever support we will need before, during, and after the hurricane.
As the government continues to strengthen the country's resilience and preparedness strategies, it is equally important that citizens take proactive steps to prepare themselves for the hurricane season.
We are on standby to provide whatever support to our brothers and sisters who may be impacted. We continue to pray that the strength of the hurricane is reduced, and that there will not be any damage done to our sister countries of Tobago, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Barbados, because we know too well, and it is fresher in our minds in Dominica, the destructive nature of these hurricanes. And so I continue to be in touch with the leaders of those countries, and to let them know that we stand in solidarity with them in prayer, in spirit, and whatever support we will need before, during, and after the hurricane.
The Dominica Water and Sewerage Company, DOWASCO, were well prepared for the passage of Hurricane Beryl over the weekend. The Category 4 hurricane, which affected numerous countries in the Windward Islands, was not expected to pass over Dominica. However, the country was projected to receive tropical storm force winds and rains, which prompted authorities to issue a tropical storm watch for the island. As such, DOWASCO began their preparations to ensure that the company was prepared to properly serve citizens in the event of a disaster.
We ensured that we were ready in terms of the things that we normally do, water in storage, clean our intakes. So we did all of that prior to the 15th of June. By the end of May, 15th to the 15th of June, we had completed all of those things. We made visits to many of the health facilities, health centers, the Dominica China Friendship Hospital, or the critical institutions, the State House, police headquarters, Mount Bruce, and so on. As usual, we visit these places every year to make sure that the storage is adequate, that the water is not contaminated, and to provide advice the best we can going forward. So we did all of that, and we're basically ready, waiting for the advisories to take action when necessary.
Mr. Etinoff explained that despite wanting to keep water in pipes for customers, sometimes there has to be an emergency shutdown of the water systems to prevent contamination of stored water.
Although we depend on the advice and the warnings, the nature of Dominica is such that sometimes it rains so heavily in the interior without we experiencing it, say in the city of Rose or in the villages, and the water gets contaminated, meaning very, very turbid, very quickly, and it's almost mud. So even on Saturday night, some muddy water was able to escape and get into the system. So we caught that, and at midnight, or about midnight, we had men in the bushes on the field shutting water down. That's how difficult it is sometimes, So it's not every time that we wait for the warning to be issued. We have to sometimes shut it down before that, and basically that's what happened. So, but we were able to restore water yesterday, and it built up nicely, and up to now we have not shut water down in most cases.
No lines or water systems experienced any damage during the weather system. Mr. Etinoff attributed the resiliency to DOWASCO's continuous efforts to building back better post-Hurricane Maria.
It has to do with the resilience and measures that we have put in place. We, for example, have been working on the WA1 system, Water Area 1 system, building of resilience mechanisms in place there. Pishley intake, we did build some resilience in that, and that intake has become of major importance to us. I mean, that's from the intake that we serve most of Soufriere Scots in. We are experiencing some benefits of the resilience measures that have been put in place, thanks to the financing provided by the government and other agencies. And we expect to replicate that in many of our water systems so we can fare better when we have these kinds of disasters.
He added that DOWASCO is fully prepared for the 2024 Atlantic hurricane season.
We are prepared, and we have prepared well. Our people are up to date on our plans. We have catered in our preparation even for our staff who would be out there doing things in inclement weather and that sort of thing. And we are providing the information to the public, let people know that they should store some water and so on. it is good to depend on the utility, and we try our best to provide water. And contrary to a lot of things that you hear, Dominica is still one of the few countries where we provide water almost 24/7. The men are really doing the best that they can. I can tell you, our people, we're on top of things, we work hard, we work smart, and so we are trying to alleviate the plight of the people of Dominica.
Mr. Etinoff also encouraged citizens to take the necessary precautions during the hurricane season.
Try to be safe, pay heed to the advisories, make sure you have some water stored for a couple of days for your family and so forth. I'm not telling you to catch water, rainwater and drink, but if you do, you can boil it, you can treat it. We do provide advisories as to how to treat this thing and so forth, so that we can all fare better than, if we have nothing at all.
Minister with responsibility for fisheries and the blue economy, Honorable Julian Defoe, says marine tourism remains one of the priorities of government. He says activities linked to marine tourism are some of the high-value products in the tourism sector.
The marine sector tourism, dive, whale watching, and now a highly luxury product we have, which is swimming with whales, has always been one of the strongest component of the tourism sector. But you hear little about it for various reasons. It has one of the highest level of stayover tourists because they come and they spend a few days, and the activities that they conduct are very high value, very high value. So, and I usually say that to my tourism colleagues, even when I was fisheries official, now a politician, which responsible for the blue economy, that they have to thank us a lot and they don't recognize us. But our product is one of the strongest tourism product. It's high value, stay over the people who comes and the clientele.
Government has been a major partner in many of the initiatives currently ongoing in the marine sector, including coral restoration efforts.
All of the initiatives that you have mentioned, and I mentioned in Nature Island Dive, the government has always been an equal partner, but you never hear that. So in all of the efforts that have always been ongoing for coral restoration, we have always been an equal partner. They are not doing it alone. An equal partner, and in most cases, more than an equal partner. At this moment, we are building a state-of-the-art project is going on in Sufria's Codshead for an ex situ coral restoration program. Ex situ means restoring corals outside of the natural environment. High value, highly technical, very expensive. Again, we are an equal partner.
Honorable Defoe says focus should be placed on preserving a pristine marine environment to continue to attract visitors.
You build this sort of marine so-called parks when your natural environment has been severely degraded. So instead of watching coral, you want to watch a statue of something under the water, which is not really what a diver want to look at. A diver want to look at is environment in the most pristine way, corals, a high abundance of fish and so on. And when you're starting to lose that, now you're looking at other things to build. So we really do not want to go that route yet, because we still have a very strong, pristine, natural environment for people to look at. So we are very strong on conservation, and that is why we have a marine reserve in the south, which is where most of the dive tourism takes place, and we are always working on management and enforcement.
The minister added that government has made significant investment in the marine sector, including the establishment of the sperm whale reserve, all aimed at bringing in revenue while preserving Dominica's pristine marine environment.
We have the marine component of the Cabrit's National Park. There will receive heavy emphasis on management itself. And as you have heard during this year, we have pronounced the establishment of a sperm whale reserve, which encompasses the entire west coast of the island, so that we can give higher value to our sperm whale product, which in itself is an extremely high value product. And we are working on legislation that should be completed this year. And we will see ourselves even deriving more revenue from this product, while also, being very careful that we do so in a sustainable way.
You're watching National Focus. More when we return.
ride safe, wear a helmet, safer roads in the nature aisle. This message was brought to you by the government of the Commonwealth of Dominica.
Welcome back. Minister for Education Honorable Octavia Alfred joined the Portsmouth Secondary School in celebrating their graduation of 70 students last week, Thursday. She advised students to consider areas in high demand when selecting their careers.
Be mindful of the development around your country and try to see how you can fit in the scheme of things, because we need people to pursue studies in agribusiness, agro-processing, and other areas in the blue and green economy. Skills for the new international airport, the Cabritz Marina, the Agriculture Science Complex at 1 Mile, the new TVET Center of Excellence, and the new Center of Excellence for Special Education, Tourism, and the Geothermal Project.
The students were encouraged to use their experience at the Portsmouth Secondary School to make a positive impact that uplifts others.
Fix your thought on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. And that's a Bible verse. Go out now. Impact your world. Impact your world positively. If you choose to make news, make good news. Make good news. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. And when principals and teachers listen to news about their past students, and you know that name rings a bell, then you see the picture and you say, I taught him in second form. If you're going to make news, make good news, as you remember your experiences at the Portsmouth Secondary School.
Government continues to readily invest in the education sector to spur national development.
The government of Dominica has recognized this value and consequently has expended a considerable proportion of the national budget to the development of education and human resource capacity over the years. We view education as the sole avenue and the main catalyst for national development. This belief has been the main motive in our policy to drive and ensure that there's a university graduate in every household in Dominica. In order to achieve this, we have focused on education at all levels within the school.
Government provides support in the form of school transfer grants, textbook scheme, breakfast program, and payment of exam fees, transportation systems, and uniform allowance to assist students. Students were encouraged to take advantage of the opportunities made available to them.
We have ensured diversity in subject options through the expansion of skills development and opportunities for pursuing Caribbean vocational qualification, CVQs. For those of you who choose the college path, your college education is made much easier because of our policy of no tuition costs to you or your parents for tertiary education at the Dominica State College and transportation assistance to those in need. I'll pause a while to encourage the boys especially to go to college.
In recognition of World Steel Pan Day on August 11, Pan in Harmony will be hosting Dominica's first ever World Steel Pan Day concert. The event also forms part of Dominica's Emancipation Celebration calendar for 2024.
On July 24, 2023, the United Nations General Assembly declared August 11th as World Steel Pan Day, recognizing the significant cultural and global impact of the steel pan instrument. To celebrate this special day, Pan in Harmony will host a Pan Festival at the cruise ship berth on the bayfront on Sunday, August 11th at 4 p.m. We are pleased to have with us Cultural Pan and other talented individuals join our program.
She extended an invitation to the public to celebrate the artistic and cultural contributions of the steel pan.
Please show your support to our local talents. We invite you to celebrate with us alongside with pan communities and individuals here and around the world. Stay tuned for more details on our Facebook and Instagram platforms for the latest information on the day's activities. We also want to take this opportunity to thank DASPA for allowing us the use of the facilities and Climate for their support to Pan in Harmony and Posse Culture Pan.
The other events which will form part of Emancipation celebration activities include Afro Artistic held at Bayfront on July 5, an Emancipation panel discussion on July 10, Emancipation art exhibition from July 15 to 19 at the Old Mill Cultural Center, Lawon Abalalin on July 20 at the Kana Heritage Park, the Signature Golden Drum Awards on July 26, and African Dress Days, which will be observed every Friday in July. Coming up next, the Creole News Highlight with Jane Jacob.
Bienvenue à ce nouvel en créole, nom monsieur Jeno Jacob. Bordé préservé Dominique hors de cyclone Beryl. Officier gouvernement dit nous pas ni pièces d'hommage. Beryl c'est un avertissement pour nous continuer à faire préparation pour désastre. Premier ministre Dominique Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit ni confiance qui nous bien préparés. Gouvernement a arrangé plan cyclone là est nécessaire. Gouvernement et puis monde Dominique en solidarité et puis pays comme la Grenade et puis à Saint-Vincent qui est affecté par Beryl. Division culturelle qui on a eu 10 moun et puis award tambour d'or. Ça c'est Golden Drum Award et puis 6 moun et puis Special Award recognition. Ça a pris place pendant célébration émancipation qui commençait vendredi semaine passée. Officier culturel Carlton Henry de nos plis.
C'est différents moun qui ont ça pour différents travail que j'ai fait pour développement culture. So nous ni moun comme Cecil Clark il a tapé un Golden Drum pour préservation et promotion visual arts. Nous ni Jacqueline Andre il a tapé pour promotion et développement steel pan, musique steel pan en Dominique. Nous ni John Coffey il a tapé pour préservation traditionnelle, musique traditionnelle en Dominique. Nous ni Claudette Richardson, tout le monde connaît lui comme Rachida. Il a tapé ça pour développement et promotion performing arts. Nous avons Roselyne Paul, qui tout le monde sait qui était un ministre Kilti. Mais ça, en l'eau, monde supposé ça. Roselyne a fait Kilti longtemps, plus qu'il a 40 années. So, il-même j'ai une contribution pour qu'il développement Kilti en Dominique. Nous lui disons 1000 merci aussi pour ça.
Chef Gota Lapokabwit qui a tapé award tambour d'or.
Nous avons Davidson Charles, tout le monde connaît lui comme Dédé, votre Gota. Il a tapé ça pour promotion et préservation of Jinping musique avec musique Lapokabwit. Okay. Nous avons Paulinus Frederick, un pays Kwaïb. Il a tapé ça pour développement et pour préservation of indigenous Kalinago music. Okay? So, il y a un développement musical Kalinago avec musique culturelle. So, nous avons dit mille merci pour ça aussi. Nous avons Cameron Pierre, qui tout le monde sait, c'est un boss guitariste. Il a tapé ça pour promotion et développement contemporary music. Okay? Et nous avons Keith Goddard Hod, WCK Band, nous connaissons ici là, nous connaissons Keith Goddard WCK Band, qui a tapé ça pour promotion et développement of contemporary music aussi.
Carlton Henry dit nous, c'est mon nom qui a tapé award recognition spéciale.
Nous avons Venander Christian pour excellence on dit dans musique acoustique tambour, pas tambour mais acoustic drumming, ça nous avons acoustic drumming et steel pan. So nous avons ça pour travail là j'ai fait, il pas qu'à jouer, mais il a montré les légions aussi. Il a montré les légions et grand monde manière pour jouer ces musiques là. Et il même a fait contribution en recording of ces musiques là. So nous lui dit mille merci pour ça aussi. Nous avons Chip Choupoul Qu'on tout ça, c'est en équipe musique traditionnelle Dominique. Yo ka battre là pour ka briter, yo ka chanter en l'eau, c'est chanter traditionnel là nous te connaître avant. So nous les dit yo mille merci, nous ka ba un special recognition pour ça aussi. Nous ni Priscilla Paul, nous ka ba l'honneur pour développement traditionnel culture traditionnelle.
Anisha Hille had Tisavan qui aussi tapé un award.
Nous ni Anisha Hille had Tisavan. Nous ka honoré pour développement et promotion of danser traditionnel. Quand nous savons Anisha ka danser depuis petits enfants et il peut encore arrêter et il a actuellement commencé à montrer ces petits là. So nous savons là pour longtemps. Nous ni Odell Hamilton, quand nous tout savons, Odell a fait toute qualité de bagaille, il a dansé traditionnel, il a joué musique traditionnelle et il style a fait ça, nous avons contemporary music aussi. So, il a besoin de l'honneur là pour un long temps, il a fait ça avec mon carré gérant qui a continué, il paquet arrêté actuellement. So, nous nous dit merci et honoré pour ça aussi. Nous ni Jason Joseph, nous avons honoré pour acoustic drumming. OK? So, qu'on voit, nous avons 6 personnes pour special recognition et 10 pour Golden Drum.
Ça, c'est tout à ce nouvel en créole. Non, monsieur Geno Jacob, au revoir.
As Hurricane Beryl continues to affect the Caribbean, increased cloudiness with pockets of light to moderate showers, which could be heavy at times, and strong gusty winds can be expected. People in areas prone to flooding, landslides, and falling rocks are advised to be on the alert and to exercise caution. Small craft operators are advised to remain in port. Sea bathers are advised to stay out of the water. As we're in the midst of the hurricane season, one must take precautionary measures to safeguard their lives, property, and the safety and security of loved ones. For today's hurricane tip, create and review a family emergency plan. Creating a family emergency plan is crucial, especially during the hurricane season. Start by discussing evacuation routes, shelter options, and designated meeting points. Assign roles like who grabs the emergency kit or who secures the home. Practice the plan together to ensure everyone knows what to do when it matters most. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. Be sure to follow GIS Dominica on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. You can also drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. From all of us here on the GIS News production team, I am Malia Martin. Thank you for watching and stay safe.